力は渡さないぞって言ってるな。
Ah! Stranger danger! Stranger danger! Hello once again, my chickadees. GameNChick is back once again with another review. Before we get started, I'd like to give a big special thanks to Bandai Namco for providing me a review copy to make this review possible. Thank you so much. So now with that having been said, let's go! One Piece Odyssey is an RPG set in the world of One Piece that is developed by ILCA and published by Bandai Namco Entertainment. With this title celebrating the franchise's 25th year anniversary, ILCA and Bandai aim to make this one of the best One Piece games thus far and learn from their mistakes of Worldseeker. But did they succeed in doing this? Only one way to find out, so onwards to adventure. Story. Luffy and the rest of the Straw Hat crew are on another epic adventure, but this time one that was totally out of their control. One day while sailing their ship Sunny across the sea, they get sucked into a giant portal that sends them and strands them at the legendary island of Wofford. Now trapped and seemingly without their skills and abilities to use, Luffy and the game will have to unite and work together to gain back their strength and figure out the many mysteries of the strange island and the people that inhabit it. Gameplay. I can only imagine the brainstorming session that went into making a video game based on a franchise as beloved as One Piece, especially when you're doing it with the 25th anniversary tag on the line. That had to be a ton of pressure. But if they were nervous in the slightest, then it seems that developer ILCA managed to keep it in check. Well, at least somewhat. With the game being more in line of a traditional RPG and focusing more on a turn-based style gameplay over the open world action we saw in Worldseeker, expectations were higher for it. As, come on now, how can you mix One Piece and RPG together and completely flub it? You can't! What? I'm lying? No, I'm not. You must be mistaking me for Usopp, because he's the only one with a nose that long. But alas, moving on. Unlike other anime-based games, where one game carries out the storyline of one or two arcs directly ripped out of the shows themselves, or in the case of Dragon Ball Z, where you play the same 4 arcs over and over and over for 20 years. But here in Odyssey, they take a slightly different approach to the formula. Instead of being one-on-one with story arcs as per usual, ILCA instead decides to give you a brand new original story that lets the Straw Hat crew go on one of their biggest adventures yet, and even one of the strangest mysteries. Offering you a brand new original story and intertwining the past arcs from the series itself, Odyssey offers both fans of the franchise an "oh yeah, I remember that" moment, and new fans an easy to pick up and play RPG where they don't have to watch over 1,000 episodes to figure out just what the heck is wrong with Usopp's deformed nose. Why Brook is so freaky, is Luffy's stomach a bottomless pit, and even what the heck is Chopper? He's so cute, but what the heck is he? But how is this achieved without it getting confusing? Well, actually, it's super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really?
But we'll get to that in just a second. The game opens up similar to Sonic Frontiers, with the most obvious suspect Falco getting our Straw Hat crew sucked up through a vortex and ending up stranded on a mysterious new island that has dangerous hazards like bright glowing crystals falling from the sky. Luckily no one was killed, but hang on, where's Nami? Where's Zoro? Where is Brook? And where is Luffy's hat? Oh no! Well, Luffy's hat isn't the biggest worry here. I mean, come on! We potentially got sucked into a dimension warp. It's not a hat that's the biggest priority, right? Right? And there he goes. After exploring things a bit and getting some clues from Chainsmoker Sanji, Frankie, and cute as buttons Chopper, you learn of the direction Nami has been stranded at, and as you and the rest of your friends rush to her aid, roar! She's being attacked by Harambe! Oh my, he's back and with a vengeance. It is here where you get your first taste of the combat and learning the rules of this game. As this is an RPG, upon jumping into battle, whether you run straight into them yourself or they attack you like the crazy people that they are, combat will play out in a turn-based style. Each character in your party being able to use regular attacks, class-based skills, use TP to use more powerful abilities, which can be restored by using regular attacks to damage enemies, which thankfully enough carries over into your next big skirmish, etc. Freely being able to attack at will is not allowed, as once again this is a turn-based RPG and works on a my turn meter, so to speak, in which each player and opponent switches turns to attack whenever the meter shows it's their turn. People with little brothers might get some PTSD from this and remember the days of their little brother saying, "Mom, it's It's my turn to use the Xbox! Using this meter in conjunction with dramatic scenes that activate to give you an attack increase, Chopper having the ability to heal party members, R1 to switch characters to choose who will attack next in order for you to make a strategy, pressing triangle to swap out crew members from your party to strategize type effectiveness of power, speed, and technique, all of which are different based off of the enemy types, and much like in Pokemon, they will determine whether an attack is really weak or super strong. This in turn makes every battle a bit of a mini-game, and a thought process to go through to make sure you match up effectiveness types perfectly. Otherwise, boss fights are going to give you a really bad time. As stated before, the plot in Odyssey here is an original story and a very much ongoing one, well past the first few hours that games usually set up. As you progress and learn that the island you're on is the legendary Wofford, gather parts to fix a sinking Sunny, find Luffy's stupid freaking hat, combat a gigantic fiery totem guardian, sneak up on enemies to surprise attack them by slapping them in the booty, encounter a super chonky, ugly doggo squirrel that still looks better than my doggo, learn that glowing objects and walls can be destroyed with Luffy's gum arms, to reveal new paths, treasures, and even grapple over ledges, use your observation hockey to identify secrets hidden around a dungeon or map for an increased chance to fight enemies that offer higher EXP. After all that, you'll get a Hulk Hogan finger point of doom. What? Oh yeah, out of nowhere, this mysterious woman, who we learn is named Lim, touches us in safe spaces, not no-no zones, and takes away our abilities, strength, and traps them in cubes. This renders you completely useless in a fight and even makes some of the crew forget how to fight in general. Honestly, they're basically like me when I forget basic tasks, only theirs is out of being hit with amnesia, and mine is just out of laziness. With your skills now trapped in cubes, I guess the crew definitely can't say today was a good day. Luckily for you, a man named Audio, who considers himself an explorer, saves you in the nick of time. Heading back to his home with him, you learn that Lim has the power to steal people's power using her bloodline. What? It can't be. It couldn't be. Is it that bloodline?
Yes! That bloodline!
Okay, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Long story short, this in turn means fetch quest. Yep. Albeit, it's not that bad since most aren't mandatory and you will find them hidden away or hanging around the map as you explore, so that's a relief at least. And missing any won't affect your playthrough much because they merely act like glorified upgrade accessories anyhow, which I'll explain in a bit. Being annoyed as heck like I was, and Audio sensing my roar kitty attitude, he agrees to come with us to explore and takes us to a cave to test our limits. Oh? Big-haired boy is going to fight? Of course not. Wuss. Instead, he acts like a guest party member that acts on his own with giving you items or just chilling in the back. Think of Final Fantasy VII Remake intermission with Yuffie and Sonnen, and you have the basic idea of how him and other guest characters operate. Continuing the narrative of learning the relationship between Lim and Audio, and learning why Lim hates pirates because someone killed her pet parrot, call PETA! Focus on regaining your abilities by defeating formidable guardians, search for treasure, and uncover a secret hidden agent from a small shadow group of characters that are keeping a close eye on things. You learn more about the core gameplay that you're still being introduced to, well into the mid-hours of this title. These game mechanics, including swinging over gaps with Luffy's gum arms, use collected cube fragments to level up abilities of each character by opening crew menu and inserting them into open slots, switch party members on the fly to freely control in the overworld for fun, or to solve puzzles and obstacles with, such as if a gate is blocking your way, you can switch to Zoro and lash it down, or with a cute as holy heck character like Chopper, use him to fit through small crawling spaces because he's such a tiny little fella. All that would be enough, right? Yeah, I agree. You're probably like, oh shut up already, you scurry! And to that I say, hey, what the heck? But with your wisecracking jerk attitude aside, in between various objectives, missions, and tasks you complete, you also unlock way more to bolster your gameplay even further, and even more in-depth with the camps. With camps, you're able to take a break at specific campsites to cook, make trick balls, fuse accessories together, change your outfits, change people in your party, and even increase EXP by 30% for battles and up the chances for more critical hits in battles. That's almost as awesome as doing the duck walk. Cool, huh? Topping off and rounding out all these awesome features to wrap everything up in the core gameplay are Sanji's Kitchen, where Sanji can cook you various ingredients that can be picked up during battles and in shops that add benefits such as healing HP, raising TP, or boost defense and attack by stacking multiple food items together. Other ways to gain major advantages are with 2 remaining features known as Robin's Mystery Craft and Usoft's Factory, with Robin's Mystery Craft allowing you to fuse equipment items together, which will give your main piece of equipment a huge power-up for each gear that you wish to utilize. And finally, there's Usoft's Factory. This factory by Long-Nosed Boy himself acts as your crafting station by utilizing the trick balls I mentioned earlier, and give you the ability to debuff your opponents with lower defensive abilities and lower attacking percentage. This makes boss fights way easier if you're stuck in a single one and get a tad bit frustrated due to being poo-poo at the game. I'm sorry, you are poo-poo. That title belongs to Yamcha. Moving forward again through the story as you push through the Thunderhead's ruins, solving puzzles with lightning switches to take down the power grid, hiding a Thunder Colossus Guardian, learn that Audio is also a Fruit of the Looms user who has the power of good hands, and... good hands? Sign him to the Arizona Cardinals because we're absolute trash. Learn about the shadow entity behind the scenes talking about it waking up, and what if it wakes up, which offers further mystery. Learn about giant cubes that can't be put back inside your body by Lim, who then sends you to Cubert Land. Well, not Cubert himself, but a land of cubes in general, in which contains all the crew's memories, and in order to get your full abilities back, we must enter Memoria, World of Memories, and retrace our steps of past accomplishments that the Straw Hat Gang from the anime went through. However, it is not the same as before, as events can play out differently, and enemies become way stronger. This is made immediately clear as you enter the first memory of Alabasta. If you remember this from the anime, then you know that during this arc, your goal was to take down Crocodile, Baroque, and saving Vivi in order to prevent a full-fledged war. Simple, right? Kind of. Even though these are your past events, memories are fuzzy according to Lim, and this is evident as you head to the docks to gain access to your old ship, only to see the Marines clogging the sea. Huh? That didn't happen in the original version. Well, shoot! Different events, stronger enemies, way weaker due to the cubes. Gee, thanks for gimping me. Now I know how Yamcha feels every Dragon Ball arc. Okay, I know, this isn't Dragon Ball, not even close, so I can't rag on him. Dang it! Oh well, I'll just switch to talking about Usopp and his stupid freak nose. Look at him, what a freak! He's like characters from the movie The Witches. If you've seen that one, then you know what I'm talking about. Or to go even further, he's like the dude in Beetlejuice who can grow his face out, only this time Usopp does this with his nose. Alright, sorry, that's enough roasting Usopp for now. Stupid Dennis the Menace slingshot dum-dum. But holy yikes, we're so off topic, aren't we? So yes, you know about the different forms of combat with it being a turn-based RPG, switching characters to move about the battlefield depending on proximity of enemies, puzzle solving, world traversal with abilities, ability effectiveness, story and noses. But is there anything else you should know before deciding if this game is right for you? Almost. There are some things that may turn people off to the game or hinder their experience. This being that Wofford, with all the build-up early on in the game, as an island of legend, is basically just a glorified hub that you just chill on between main chapters. Well, aside from some narrative pieces here and there. This is due to most of the game specifically taking place in Memoria and exploring past memories of the Straw Hat crew. These aren't bad missions, quite the opposite. Unlike Naruto and Dragon Ball games, the events of memories and previous arcs in the One Piece series plays out very differently and almost like a what-if scenario, and makes it feel not only fresh, but pretty brand new too. The reason, however, why I say this is a negative is because I feel like there's so much potential to be explored on Wofford Island from the stuff you see in the background of the map, and I just wanted to see way more. Side quests can also be a tad bit weird here in the game, with quests not openly being available as you progress through memories and instead require you to beat one chapter, then head back to the memory to see if there's anything for you to do in that specific area, such as side quests and friendship bonding events with your crew. Playing through each world isn't all bad news, because each area you go to in Memoria feels expansive and worth exploring. Albeit with limitations, still, the game itself and each environment looks absolutely gorgeous. From its NPCs, buildings, water, grass, ships, it honors the look and feel of the anime to a near perfect level, so why even do backtracking your side missions? Simple, the endgame. Not Mr. Strange, not that endgame. I'm talking about late-game dungeons you can partake in that range from, this isn't so bad, to, oh my god, I'm dying! Ah! I can't feel my legs! Pain, I can't feel my legs!
Bubba, they ain't there. And I looked down, and them little bloody nubs was kicking real fast like this here.
Well, okay, it's not that bad, but it's still a tough time. So instead of crying, you can do the bonding events in the parallel world of Historia to unlock bond attack for battles. Get annoyed like me at the early game stopping for you every friggin' 10 steps for a cutscene and tutorial, making it as annoying as Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword? Take alternate routes to explore hidden areas, grind enemies for higher levels, upgrade everyone's special abilities? Talk to locals to learn more about the world and get hints on your missions? Test your brain with puzzle solving and dungeons, and be a complete lazy butt like me and throw on auto battle so you can continue drinking your Beppis and eating your Cheez-Its while your party does all the heavy lifting for ya. Way too easy. But I would not recommend this for boss battles. You need to manually control these battles if you want to stand a chance. At least more of a chance than Usopp has at trying to kiss his girl because his nose is so big that he'd just poke her eye out. Overall, at the end of the day, One Piece Odyssey is a tremendous way to celebrate this franchise's 25th anniversary. Sure, it's not a perfect game, with annoying gameplay interruptions in the early part of the game that holds your hand and has too many cutscenes that stops you from playing the dang game, backtracking that can feel a tad slog, fast travel not available till after chapters are completed, difficulty level other than boss fights being way too easy, etc. However, even with all the negatives, this title makes up for it with its gorgeous environments and fun designed dungeons, keeping the core element and theme of friendship that the franchise is known for, engaging and strategic turn-based action, tons of abilities, upgrades and equipment for each playable character, craft items and use food for buffs and debuff advantages, and just a fun game overall. You can tell Ilka and Bandai cared a lot about this game due to its presentation and the way the story is presented to you. Heck, there's even an extensive amount of dialogue for this game from the original Japanese voice actors themselves, which is evident in and out of combat and throughout all the cutscenes. It's pretty crazy, but a welcomed crazy. Again, when it's all said and done, One Piece Odyssey gives you an original tale that keeps the story that unfolds about friendship and adventure and honors the core values of this now 25-year-old franchise, and makes me confident in saying that even if you aren't a longtime fan or even are a longtime fan of One Piece, that as an RPG player, you will find enjoyment from this title even with its shortcomings. So with all this having been said, my verdict is clear. GameNChick says bye now.
Thanks for watching! I really hope you enjoyed that review, and I look forward to bringing more to you in the coming future. For new people, feel free to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like or share, and for people already subscribed, make sure to hit that notification bell so that you do not miss out on any future content uploaded. Also, feel free to click on my other reviews linked above because they're kinda cool too, so give them a look! Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch all you chickadees on the next one. Quack!